Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome.
What's up, Figsy? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. Yourself?
Oh, I'm good. I'm up. I got my coffee.
Me
And,
too.
I'm rip roaring and ready to go. Hopefully,
It is 11 p.m. over there, if I believe.
11 p.m. Correct.
It's only 4 p.m. over here, so
Which
hopefully I'm ready to go. I'm just getting all these different things up on all the different screens. There's lots of them. How's your weekend been?
pretty uneventful. What did I do today? I woke up, picked my kids up from the train. I cooked them lasagna, and that's pretty. And I fell asleep on the couch watching TV.
Lasagna sounds good.
No, it was a
I had a
veg.
second sound somewhere. I got rid of it.
It was a vegetable lover's lasagna. It was not as good as it could have been. My girlfriend's a vegetarian, so I that's a whole other story. She's listening too, so I'm not gonna bust her balls too hard.
So today, guys, we've got a special guest. A special guest from Germany, Beliskner. Now, Beliskner has 7 complete video game sets, as well as 3 or 4 other sets that he's won off. So I should have some really interesting questions today. I'm excited for this one, Will. And
7 sets. That's no. It's again. There's different levels of collectors. 7 sets is no. I'm down here somewhere.
So please welcome Beliskner, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome, Beliskner. How you doing?
I am doing pretty fantastic, despite the fact that it's only 8 a.m. on a Sunday.
No, I appreciate you coming on so early. It's hard to get an American, an Australian, and someone from Europe to correspond with the same time zone.
Yeah, this is probably the best time to do it, honestly.
Sounds like the start of a joke. An American, an Australian, and a German walk into a bar. I don't know where I'm going with this. But there we go.
So, tell us, the listener, which 7 sets have you got complete? I think that's the question that's going to be on everyone's minds.
Well, there are 2 that are not very spectacular: DSI and Microvision, because they are less than 10 games.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have Intellivision, N64, Wii U, PlayStation 3, and what am I missing?
Master System.
Master System, correct? Yeah.
Are you going to chase the 2 new PS3 games that dropped, or do you not consider them? Are you strictly pals? What I'm getting at?
No, I'm probably not getting them. No.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. I don't think I'm going to be chasing it. I've seen the games. I watch the games on some YouTube walkthroughs, and it's just not for me. But then again, I want to buy one, sit on them, and the greedy ass reseller in me wants to scoop them up and sell them to somebody over in Europe. Well, we'll see. Time will tell. I got another 4 days to decide. We'll see.
Yeah, wasn't it the 27th, or was it the 29th?
I think it's the 28th, actually.
Oh, we got a couple of days.
All right, it's 4 days for you. It's 3 days here.
We're time traveling over here.
I've already got copies of these games, so I'm probably going to buy them on PS3 and then sell my copies that I've got on PS4.
Might as well.
Who's gonna grab them for you over here, Fix?
I'll order them and just pay for shipping. It's not limited run, so it's not going to be too expensive.
I don't even recognize this company. What are they called?
I thought it was done through the Canadian company, unless it's the publisher themselves.
I gotta scroll back. I don't know exactly. What's his name? Showed me the news. James Johnson. We're gonna get him on here eventually, but he wants Ricky to go first. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but give me a minute.
Speaking of James, it reminds me of something. So what? I know the answer to this, but what sets are you currently working on at the moment, Beliskner?
I'm mostly working on finishing up PSP because I'm pretty close and I need the shelf space. So once I finish PSP, I can pack up the PSP set.
Yep.
And use the shelves for something else. Probably NES.
How far away from a full PSP set are you?
I have 4 games still in the mail, and without those 4 games, I still need 33, I think.
Okay, so it's very doable. Like I
Yeah.
know when I get within 50 games, I like to do all right, let's go for 1 game a week, and that gives me, all right, over the course of a year, I'll knock out a set.
It's probably not going to be that long for me because I have pretty much all the hard to find European games at least.
Yep.
And except for Mirage, of course.
Okay, you're not going to get that one, the $1,000.
Thank you, but no. I'm content with a set minus Mirage. That's completely fine with me.
How about all the Indian exclusive games?
I still need Dawn 2 and Battle Royale.
There's more than one?
There's 7.
There's 7 Indian exclusive games?
Yeah.
And I believe that I'm getting a bunch of games from Rahul soon, so I may be able to help those 2. So I'll let you know.
That would be sweet. That would be really sweet.
I have Battle Royale, but I don't know if I want to let my copy go. But he may be sending me another one. So
isn't that your only PSP game, Figsy?
Yeah, my only PSP.
Dude, get rid of it, man. Do you even own a PS? Do you own a PSP?
No, I sold my PSP.
So you just got, dude.
I just got one of the rarest games for this.
Ship it, listener. Give him the address, Figsy. Give him the damn game. Be Blank Entertainment Incorporated. Never heard of them, but that's who was doing these new. Was doing the Shakedown Hawaii and Retro City Rampage DX. Again, never heard of them.
I believe they're the publishers of the game, or the developers or something.
The fun thing about Retro City Rampage DX, I remember this because I was there. They kind of started the whole limited run thing even before limited run was actually a thing, and they released Retro City Rampage DX on PS4 and Vita. I think it was like 2013, 2014 or something. I think it was 2014. And that kind of got me to not get into the whole limited run thing because they advertised the game on their site with text that said your collection is not complete without this. Yeah. And they basically made this game so collectors would buy it at any price.
And then it got worse, and then they started reprinting it. So there was different variants to pick up, and yeah.
Yeah, that's why I never bought into this shit.
Print run of the game.
Yeah.
We need to get in on that scam. I'll tell you what.
Oh, do you remember the empty PSP case that came with the game?
I don't think so. I never heard of that.
Yeah, so originally it came with an empty PSP case.
What?
I'll look this up to confirm it, but
Are we talking about Retro City Rampage still?
Yeah.
What was the download code then?
No, it was just an empty case. Yep.
I never heard about that.
And it was limited to 3,000.
Oh, Jesus. And people bought them up.
I'll get a photo up for the podcast.
The Bulldog Project 7 asks, where is Beliskner? He's in Germany. Where exactly? What city in Germany, Beliskner?
I live in Berlin.
Berlin? Ooh.
Yeah.
Never been to Europe. I've been here, Mexico. Have I been to Canada? No, I haven't been to Canada. Been to Costa Rica, Colombia, Panama, of course, but no, I've never been to Germany. And look, there it is.
Empty PSP case because they can.
What does that go for?
25 US on eBay for an empty case.
It's so dumb. It's literally a piece of artwork on a case that's like 50 cents.
That gets better. That never actually got released on that system.
Yeah.
Oh shit! These guys are shysters. Then again, that whole limited run thing is just aimed to exploit people like us, collectors who are into it. But no,
I'm actually surprised they survived that long. When they first came out, I thought they were gonna go under eventually because they always put games up for pre-order and then started producing the games, and they always used the money they made to make the game. They never actually had any funds in their bank.
They still do that. Now they have money. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I gotta look into this company.
Chaos said no beer tonight, Will.
No beer. It's too late. If I'm going to drink it, I'm gonna start early so I can go to bed about midnight. Midnight's usually my bedtime. But no, I'm rocking the coffee tonight. So cheers, guys.
Welcome everyone to the live podcast. We've got Hattie in the chat, Super Harley Quinn, Alvino, Kebab Muncher, David Evans, Robert, the Bulldog Project 7, Shawnee Webb. And thanks to everyone else that's watching live. We really appreciate you guys coming in. If you do want to ask Beliskner any questions, feel free to throw them in chat. We'll get to them eventually, guys.
I do have a question. You said you were like one away from a few sets. Which sets are you one away from? What games are you looking for in them?
I'm missing one for Engage. I need Sega Rally, and I've needed that game for over 10 years.
Is it just rare, or you just can't find it, or you just don't want to pay for it?
It's the last released game. It only came out in Australia, and there's a copy right now on eBay. It's like 500 plus. Yeah.
But you're not going to go for it?
No. They have a best offer. I may do a best offer because I'm gonna get my bonus from work soon. But who knows? And other than that, I need one for Philips Video Pack. I need Trans-American Rally.
Wait. Philips Video Pack?
Yeah, that's the European Odyssey 2.
Okay. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, it's mostly the same games, but they're all completely different packaging, and some have different names and stuff. But they are mostly the same games.
Is that different from the Philips CGI?
Yeah, it's a completely different system. Philips just they purchased some of the distribution rights here.
Okay.
And the console also has the Philips branding on it. You can kind of see up there, that box right there. That's a boxed Philips Video Pack. You can kind of see the bottom there.
I'm not really familiar with them, but I've recalled they've got like real video in their games. Lots of that. Like CGI clips and stuff like that.
The CDI has, yeah. The Video Pack is an old system from the 70s. So
okay.
they don't have that. They have a really fun thing. Actually, I'm gonna pull this out because it's so funny.
I need to bring my collection up from downstairs and just line it up behind me so I could do this shit.
Okay, so this is a really fun game. This is chess. And this cartridge is attached to this massive brick. And what this brick is, this is extra RAM for the console. Because the console itself doesn't have enough power to run chess. So this is like an extra couple kilobytes of RAM.
Okay, it's literally like a couple of kilos.
Yeah. It's like a massive brick that attaches to the system on the top. It's really funny.
Oh, you guys have to excuse me for a minute. My little one has entered the chat. Give me a minute to get rid of her.
Yeah, other than that, I also need one for video play, one for Blackpoint, which is a really old Pong system. And I think that's the 4. Oh no, I also need one game for the Interton Video Computer 4000, which is also a pretty old system.
Very obscure systems too.
Yeah, the Interton, that's a German-made console, and they thought they could kill Atari, but they didn't. And they made 37 games, and I still need one.
How long have you been collecting for, man?
Late 2011, so quite a long time.
Well over a decade now. That's longer than most people I know. I think that's longer than me. I've been collecting for about 8 years.
Yeah. I kind of stumbled into that because in like 2009, 2010, I was watching a lot of AVGN back when he was still doing an episode every other week. And even back then, he had a lot of NES games. And late 2011, I just thought I'd buy one and some games just to see how it feels like, and then I bought a Super Nintendo, and only afterwards I even realized that there was a collecting scene, and that's kind of how I got into that.
We're talking about how we got.
Sorry, what?
We're talking about how we got into collecting.
Yeah.
Oh, gee. The angry video game nerd was your gateway drug, Beliskner?
Yeah, just to the old games in general, but not necessarily to collecting.
Do you have other collections?
Not really. Like
No.
I have a movie collection, but it's not nearly as big as my games collection.
Jeez.
Yeah, other than that, I don't really collect anything.
I used to collect comic books, but then I grew up and left behind those childish ways and started collecting video games instead.
They
Very
probably
mature
went
of you.
fortune today too. Some comic books have exploded in price.
I got a giant bunch of big boxes. I'm not going to go through them. I don't know what they're worth. I'm not. Maybe I should. Yeah, we'll see.
I like the story of how we met in Beliskner, because it wasn't through traditional methods. It was actually on a PlayStation collecting forum. And
It wasn't even a traditional PlayStation collecting forum. It was Retro Collect that is now mostly defunct. It was in
I think I recruited you to the PlayStation 3 collectors group on.
Oh, you were bugging me about that for like 2 years before I finally ended up joining. because I didn't want to go to Facebook, man. I didn't want to go there.
Everyone's like, "Oh, who's the biggest collector?" I'm like, "It's this guy in Germany, and no one heard of you, and no one knew who you were."
Why is everybody so anti-Facebook?
Because terrible people on Facebook.
Oh man, well, there's terrible people wherever you go.
True.
What, Bigsy? So if you're weaning yourself off of Facebook, where are you finding most? Where's your biggest audience? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Is it Twitch?
I probably spend more time on Twitter, but I don't post much. Same as Instagram, just scrolling through things. I mainly just watch YouTube videos. That's me.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I don't.
My social is right now.
No, oh yeah, still, well, Twitter, Facebook's my top. Second, probably Instagram, and then barely at all. And then I got a Twitter. I have a Discord, but I logging in as far as I go.
Group. I try and chat in that group multiple times a day.
I'm on Discord a lot as well. A lot.
Well, most people who have big YouTube channels usually have a Discord alongside with it. Beliskner, you have a YouTube channel, correct?
I do, yeah.
Plug it. Let's hear what. Let the people know where you're from, where we can find you.
I just posted in chat. It's Beliskner999 PSN. That's my YouTube. I have some videos up, but I don't post regularly.
Yeah, that's
I
our
disagree.
problem.
You got lots of videos up, but
okay, yeah, I do have lots of videos up, but not very new ones. Not a lot of new ones.
So I actually used to watch you a lot back in the day on Twitch. Back when you were doing a series where you were playing through every single Nintendo 64 game in order.
Oh yeah, that was that ended in disaster once I hit Air Border 64 and gave up because that game was impossible.
Which game, sorry?
Air Border 64.
Interesting.
It's like a skateboarding game, but it's like some kind of hover skateboard, and basically think Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but awful. That's kind of what that was. And
so Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5.
I wouldn't know. I didn't. I avoided that game. I did play the Pro Skater HD. That was on PS3.
The digital one?
Yeah,
No.
That was really good. 1 and 2.
That was fun. It wasn't like the greatest, but it was fun. It wasn't even the 1 and 2 remakes. It was just called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD.
It was a digital only game.
Yeah, I think it was 2013 or something.
Oh, sorry, I didn't play that one.
Yeah, I got that one sitting on the hard drive. When you say you were playing all of them in order, was it order by alphabetical order or order by release?
There wasn't really much of an order. No. I made a list, and the games were like in order of I wanted to play them in. But yeah,
How many games is that? I'm not a Nintendo
it
guy, so
was only the European games because at that time I didn't have the 3 Australian games yet. Otherwise, I would have done the full PAL. But European, there were 239.
it's pretty small. Yeah, it
Blame
seems,
me for slacking on that part.
That's cool. It's cool.
seems the game generations got on, the libraries got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
Can
PS
confirm we did get those last 3 Australian games for you.
I can confirm, yeah. Thanks
You
for
get
that.
Yeah. Only time I've held a copy of what was the real expensive one?
StarCraft and Snowboard Kids 2 were both
Snowboard Kids 2
more or less the same price, I think. I think they were more or less the same, like 200.
I've seen a few StarCrafts. It's not as rare as Snowboard Kids 2. It's just really, really expensive.
Yeah. It's like a big collector's items, you know.
Snowboard Kids does not sound fun. Is this Snowboard Kids? Is just kids snowboarding?
I feel the story behind it was, at least in America, it only got a blockbuster release or something.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the rumor. This one, the second one. The first one is not nearly as uncommon. I think I actually have. Do I have it? Yeah, I have a box of it up there. The first one, I think the PAL one box is like 40 euros maybe.
Okay.
And compare that to the loose card that's like 250 for the second one.
Well, what I think's crazy is the manual in America is like $3,000.
Oh yeah, for the rental exclusives. Yeah, that's always
insane.
fun. When the manual is more expensive
everything.
than the box.
Yeah. And you can imagine why, because they lend out the box and the manual doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Sometimes the rental places would just straight up throw out the manual or make a photocopy and put the photocopy in the box, or give you the game with a photocopied manual. So
I have seen those photocopied manuals before too.
yeah, I see them sometimes with Super Nintendo games, but not with N64 games. At least not PAL ones. But with
So
Super
something
Nintendo ones,
interesting about you is I believe you're the first person, at least that I know, to complete the PS3 PAL set.
I may have been the first. Yeah, of course you never know because some people just don't talk about their collections. So.
Of course, there could be someone who just bought every game at retail, brand new, and
sure,
no one knows who they are. But
I refuse
in a
to believe.
scene.
Well, if we don't know who they are they really part of the scene?
Do they even exist? Yeah.
Yeah. No, we know them all, and if we don't, we're gonna find them.
It was actually pretty funny because I completed the set early 2018, and then I didn't have a complete set for a while because FIFA 19 came out, and I didn't get that one at release. I got that like a month after only.
Did you pay retail for it?
Like reduced retail. It was on release it was $59.99, but I got it for $39.99 because it got €20 discount a month after.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back, guys. My dog.
I believe a friend of mine, Ricky Andre, he just got real excited about it. There's he's right. He's a variant collector. That's his big thing right now, and he recently got a variant of FIFA 19 that he's been looking for.
I think I know which one. Yeah.
Oh, so that variant's interesting because in PAL, the two variants are really common. Like you can buy them for the same price, but in America, one of them's really expensive.
Yeah, the right one is the newer one. I'm pretty sure when I bought mine, the left one was the only one you could get. I think the right one is some sort of re-release.
What is it? Legacy? Well, no, they're both Legacy editions. I don't know, but this guy, we'll get him on. You'll see. Are you familiar with Ricky Andre's Infinite Quest for the variant?
Vaguely, yeah. I'm not as active in the Facebook group as I used to be.
Just put it this way: he hasn't stopped going hard for the PS3. He's got like
Someone has to, because I don't really anymore.
I'm the same, and Kevin slowed down as well. So someone has to continue the variant quest.
Yeah, almost everything I pick up nowadays for PS3 is promo discs. Because there's just nothing else left almost.
I picked up a really interesting promo the other day. I'll grab it for you guys.
It's got to be when you complete a set, it's got to be satisfying, but also at the same time. Oh, that's cool.
That is really cool.
So this was only released in Russia, and it's the 3D collection, but the promo version.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen promos with a gray bottom there. That's really cool.
That's a nice pack. It doesn't actually have the spine; it's just has the sleeve.
It's kind of like the PSP promos were packaged also in these like little slips. Yeah.
Is it a stiff cardboard sleeve in there?
No, it's not stiff or anything. It's the same as any sleeve. It's just doesn't have a backing or anything on it. It doesn't have a spine or anything. It's cool though.
So you just found that randomly on Facebook or on eBay?
I got this from Pavel.
I love how you speak of people and just automatically assume who the hell I know you're talking. I know who you're talking about.
Some people will though. That's the best part.
Well, fuck those people. It's about me, Pavel. That's pretty cool. No, but yeah, reaching the end of a set. I mean, it's got to be it's got to be satisfying, but it's also got to be a little heartbreaking. But then again, you find other bullshit to chase and to go after.
Yeah, I think it's actually more satisfying than like sad.
My life has no meaning. I mean, you're not gonna jump out of a window over it, but
yeah, I think because I do collect everything, and for every console, once I'm done with the system and I have the set and maybe all the variants I want, I can straight up move to the next one, and it's just really great. Especially for Master System, it felt especially great because the Master System set, including all the major variants that I wanted, they all fit 100% perfectly on one shelf.
I love that.
And there was no gaps. If you watch my video about it, there's like one very small gap, and other than that, it was just completely filled up one shelf and looked really beautiful. I think
it was very satisfying watching.
It was very satisfying. Yeah.
That should have been the last one. It's like the last piece of the puzzle.
There's nothing left to put there. So.
Figsy, I was watching your last video. The bad day you had. Well, not bad day. So, you got a flat tire.
Yes, so it was an interesting. It wasn't a flat tire. I shredded the tire.
What does that mean?
Like the tire was gone, and I had a spare, but I didn't have, the wheel nut to turn the thing.
The car jack? Or
I had the jack, and I jacked it up, and then realized I didn't have a wheel nut.
Oh, that thing. Okay.
I went down to the Super Cheap Auto, which is like a car shop. I bought a universal one, so it was going to work. Come back, and then I found out that the nuts are like anti-theft nuts, and I couldn't actually do it without another part.
Are you sure?
Fast forward a phone call to Andy from episode number 2, or episode number 3, and Andy saved the day and picked me up and drove me around town looking for this part, and then we come and change the tire. So that was like 4.5 hours later.
Oh my god!
Are you sure it wasn't a fellow reseller in town who slashed your tire?
Imagine
the sabotage.
Well, it's a cutthroat business. Yeah, they got to beat you they keep you out of the other garage sales.
It was garage sale number 1 too. Like, I think I had 15 on my list all planned out.
Yeah, man. I saw you were walking through in the scene, and do you even look at the Guitar Hero guitars, or you just pass them up nowadays?
Usually I just walk by them unless they've got the dongle.
Yeah, they should have the dongle. If they have the dongle, they are worth picking up at any price.
Yeah, the dongles are worth more than damn guitars anymore
Yeah,
these
exactly.
days. I don't know
like-
why. I don't know why somebody doesn't, re-engineer dongles. I mean, you could make a mint just reselling.
People have. The problem is manufacturing them costs as much as just buying a dongle secondhand. So it's not.
Oh,
It's not
really?
really worth it because I guess the tech is just too complex to cheaply reproduce.
Come on, you could be able. Somebody could come up with a damn phone app. That'd be cool. Just connect your guitar to your damn thing. I don't know. I'm talking out my ass. What the hell do I know?
Problem is, it's all old technology. So why are they going to make like a PS3 app or a Wii U app or something?
Yeah. Also, I think the problem is not every guitar works with every dongle. You actually need to have the correct dongle for the correct guitar, or at least the correct build guitar. So even a next-gen guitar will not work with an older dongle. So all the dongles are also built differently.
Somebody's got to. The person who solves this dongle problem is going to be a millionaire. No, actually, not probably not. They'll probably make $10. But anyway. Robert asks, can you count exclusive set for Xbox One a set? Because I finally completed a set, but only for Australia region. Yeah, of course.
Congratulations, Robert. Now, with a full set, in my opinion, whatever counts is whatever your opinion is. So if you count a full Australian set as a full set, that's a full set for you.
Really?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's unreasonable how butthurt some people get, especially when I started collecting people. The big thing people were talking about, is it really a complete NES set if you don't have the unlicensed games? So, and there was such a tiresome discussion, and it went on for years. And it's probably still going on somewhere.
Well, they're still making unlicensed games, so like, how can you ever have a full set?
I have. There's a set I chased for a minute. It was within the PS3. It was the Atelier set, Atelier Rona, Atelier, whatever the fuck their names are. But I got them all except for the triple pack.
Yeah,
and
everyone in the comments would have said,
yes,
but you haven't got the triple pack.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, and I made a post, and I'm all happy and proud. Look at me, here I go. Here's my post, my complete Atelier set. And of course, every dickhead coming out of the woodwork. It's not complete with it. Go to hell. That triple pack is redundant. It's just, and I can't afford it, so fuck you. But yeah,
I think that's pretty much the reason why I stopped a long time ago giving people my list of PS3 releases when they were asking for them, because every single time I would send someone my list of PS3 or my PAL list, they would always come back with some asinine question like, but where's Hell to the Chimp? Or some other game that actually never got released. And I'm thinking, dude, I've been doing this for 10 years. You don't think I've looked on Wikipedia once? You think I didn't check this?
I like
People
it
actually
when they,
think you're an idiot. So
I can't think of any games, but there's a few games that websites had pre-orders for, but never actually got released, and they keep popping up on people's lists.
And they're looking for shit that doesn't exist. Oh, that's hilarious. So, Hail to the Chimp never got released. You guys never got that in the PAL territories?
No, only American.
There are stock pictures of PAL copies, but no actual copy has ever surfaced anywhere.
You guys are missing out. That's one hell of a game right there.
Did you collect the American exclusives, Beliskner?
Yeah, I do. I still need 2 of them for PS3.
Okay, which 2? I'm curious.
Cabela's Big Game Hunter Pro Hans and Top Gun Wingman Edition.
Okay, I can understand why, because that's $150 right there.
Wingman Edition, yes. Pro Hans is not a very uncommon game. Like I could buy that at any point, really.
Have you noticed any of the Cabela games PAL region prices lately? They were really expensive.
I don't keep up with prices at all, so I couldn't tell you. I just know I all bought them all for like less than 10 euros.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because that's what I bought pretty much every PS3 game for.
I mean, back when we were collecting PS3 games, no one wanted them.
Oh, it was so beautiful, man. I found my Godzilla at GameStop for like $14.99. It was just at GameStop, and back then the game was relatively new still, and it was even used. It was like 30 euros only, quote unquote only. I found Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, All Star Battle on clearance at retail stores for $9.99.
I got that for $9 Australian,
Yeah.
brand new. Like, yeah.
And they had hundreds of them, hundreds.
No, I remember everyone in the PS3 group posting their new copy from EB Games of $9. We're all like, "Yeah, check out this game, guys! Everyone go and buy it."
Oh man, the come up stories. Yeah, they don't.
Those were the good times.
Yeah, they don't happen as often as they used to. But
Well, collecting today isn't like that because games aren't going on clearance for $9 because people are buying them at $30 and they're selling out.
I'm still waiting for the Walmart clearance, the 3 cent and the $1 games. It's coming, and then I'll make some poor store clerks life hell for a good hour while I make them dig through all the games just to pull them out. But they're out there. The Bulldog Project 7 asks, Beliskner is the craziest PS3 collector because he collected all the essentials and platinum games on PS3.
I gave up that task. That's crazy. It's too crazy for me.
Yeah, that was really, really painstaking. I just recently found out I'm still missing some platinum double packs that were only released in Spain. And I think I actually still missing one essentials that I forgot at some point.
And more are probably still being discovered.
Yeah, but at some point, like, it has to stop because there's only so many games that could have had an essentials release.
No. Tristan keeps sending me photos of games that I don't know exist.
Yeah, it's insane.
Have you still got a complete black and red label set?
The one that was known at the time, yes. But I think also there have been like 1 or 2 new ones discovered.
Because there's a few Russian ones that just keep popping up.
Yeah, the Russian ones I don't care about. We don't talk about the Russian games. We don't talk about Russian games.
They've still got the 2 on the back, so they're still PAL games technically.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Who else
I'll
we
keep
got?
my Hannah Montana. Sorry, ex Hannah Montana.
Oh, you mean Hannah Montana?
Oh god,
Was that a Russian accent?
Yeah, I mean the X in Cyrillic, it's pronounced like a ch, so it's Hannah.
Oh, there you go. You learned something new.
and it's pronounced XERO or something.
XERO. That's Chago.
It's something like that. It's only 4 letters. It starts with X. I'd have to find it.
The R is like a G, but like a hard G, not a like J.
I didn't think I'd have to brush up on my Russian before getting my out here. And the Bulldog Project 7, he even inspired Figsy to collect the sets, but he obviously quit.
Most people quit because it's so dumb. Like especially I feel like the essentials, it's almost not fun because even though Germany is the biggest market for video games in Europe, even bigger than the UK, I still had to import like a third of the essentials set from other countries because they didn't come out here. And
yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I was enjoying it.
Oh.
I was enjoying it, picking them up in the wild, cheap, because no one wanted them. But as soon as I got to a point where I had 120, 130, I had to import the rest of them. And I don't want to pay more than $10 for these shit games.
Yeah, for some of the last ones, I had to pay a lot more than what I would have paid for the Black Label ones because they were so hard to find. Yeah. And I just got them as soon as I saw them because I thought, will I ever see a Vanquish Essentials again?
What did you pay for Demon Souls?
Oh, Demon Souls was not cheap. I think it was 25. The advantage there was the advantage there was that actually was released here, but it's still really difficult to find.
Yeah.
You guys keep talking all these PAL problems. Yeah, the biggest headache we got over here, well, in my opinion, for collecting was the Mexican exclusives.
They're beautiful. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the favorite set.
Oh, Los Favoritos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, unless you're a completionist, it's it's not it's not an issue. But there are a couple games I wanted. I wanted that Lucha Libre game.
Yep.
I picked up 2 El Chavos. Yeah, El Chavo. I was almost at El Chapo.
El Chavo card, yeah.
El Chavo carts, and I picked 2 of them at one go. Some lady had them for sale on a local marketplace app. And what was the other one? Oh, NFL and Espanol. I can't remember which one that was.
09?
Yeah,
it was Madden 09.
that one never dinged my radar, but I knew it was out there. And I'm in Arizona, and we're butt up against Mexico, so every now and again we'll get I'll get some Mexican games. Find them locally, but no, that's doesn't seem to be as big as issues of collecting PAL games, Russian buzzes and Finnish buzzes and
It's such a nightmare.
Spanish buzzes. You got hats off to you guys. That's some hardcore shit.
I legit think there's not a single country in Western or Central Europe left that I have not imported a game from.
Oh, I'm the same. I've bought a game from almost every country, every Western country in the world for sure.
Yeah.
And then it's probably closer to like 100 countries that I bought games from at this point.
Okay, that's a little bit more than me.
But that's because of trading with different collectors throughout the world. And like I wouldn't have the set I had if it wasn't for the community. Like the SingStar games, the Buzz games, majority of them came from other collectors. They didn't come from eBay.
Yeah. Because you can't find them on eBay.
Yeah. Or if you can, they don't ship to your country.
That also, yeah.
Do you guys ever hunt in Amazon? I found some pretty good shit in there. If you deep dive on them, you can find
definitely
some good stuff for cheap. I try to avoid the third party sellers, but don't sleep on Amazon.
Amazon is actually incredible. It's not as good as it was, but back in 2014, I was shopping a bunch of Amazon for retro games actually, because Amazon still had listings for like Master System and Mega Drive games and N64 games, and sometimes sellers would still post them. And I got like a Terminator 2 for Master System for like $9.99, and that's like a €60 game. And no one ever sees this because retro collectors don't shop on Amazon for that stuff.
Yeah, they don't look for it, and then they got a case of them somewhere in the back of some warehouse, and you just got to take someone to order it, and then ding, and you go and you get some crap out of the back.
Yeah. You can find some insane stuff on Amazon.
Good over here, but I do a lot of shopping on Amazon DE, which is, I'm assuming is Amazon Germany.
That's Germany, yeah.
And it's like as good as Amazon America. It's got amazing stuff over there.
Pro tip,
I don't know if that comparison is accurate because I never shop on the American Amazon.
For my experience, they're very, very similar. We're comparing to Amazon Australia, we get nothing. We get brand new stock, and that's it. It's actually really hard to sell secondhand goods in Australia on Amazon.
Amazon, I find they also have excellent customer service. I once ordered what game? It was a Senran Kagura. I ordered it from them, and it was a collector's edition, so it's a box, cellophane on it. They slapped the damn shipping level right on the box itself. And sent that
I've
over.
had that before, yeah.
So I called them up, got them on the phone, did my Karen act, and I ended up, they let me keep the game and they sent me out a new one. And so 2 for 1 there. So all you got to do with Amazon is complain, and they'll hook it up every time. Just complain. It's free shit. I've gotten free shit from them. I only complain when it's a legitimate complaint. I'm not out here scamming Amazon, but but now I'm in their books. So anytime they send me anything, it's coming boxed, whether it deserves it or not. That's bitch. It helps
I think
get your way.
From Amazon, I had it happen twice that they didn't actually box stuff. One was it was one of the Cabela games, I think, that comes with that weird rifle that's not a move rifle.
Oh yeah,
but where you have to put the sensor on top of the television.
Yeah, I know.
And that box, they just slapped the label on that. And then another one, that was not a game, that was a jigsaw puzzle. where they also slap just the label right on the cellophane.
Yeah, just call them up. Hey, look, I'm a collector. I'd never plan on opening this. Give them the business, and all right, everything you from here forward will send out in a box. Sorry, Mr. Schultz, and took care of me.
It shouldn't have to come to that. Like, as a reseller, regardless of what I sell, if I sell a boxed item, I wrap that box up. I'm not shipping it in the box because, I sold a like a blender the other day, brand new in the box. I still wrap the box up and post it like that. It's the product's going to be protected. But if the box doesn't arrive in the same condition that I sold it in, they're entitled to get their money back. That's just good customer service.
Yeah, but I mean, you're one guy, and this is a giant corporation. So on one level they don't give a shit, but on another level they want to keep their ratings, their satisfaction ratings high. So
yeah,
they'll bend over backwards to make you happy.
Also, I wouldn't give him too much crap because I've bought hundreds of items from Amazon, and when one or two come in unsatisfactory condition, that's actually a good ratio.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's probably one or two sellers who mightn't even sell on there anymore.
Yeah,
Amazon would be getting rid of people like that pretty quickly, I can imagine. Chaos for Hire says, I've been trying to get Martha for Dead on PS4, but Amazon keeps sending me PS5 copies that I already have. I've done it 3 times on a row. And funny you say that because I'm in multiple Facebook groups, and I recall one day where like 5 or 6 people, all who ordered either the PS4 or 5 version, all got the wrong copies, and they're like, do we just trade with each other, or
that sucks. I think it's probably going to happen a lot now, a lot more now, because we're in that weird transitionary phase. I can't wait till it's over.
I've got a question for you guys. Buying new games, do you buy the PS4 or 5 version to that?
I would buy PS4 because I don't have a PS5.
Okay.
Yeah, PS4, because same reason. I don't have a PS5 yet. I'm waiting for the Slim to come out.
Well, I do have a PS5, and I'm buying the PS4 versions. Like FIFA 23 comes out next week, I'm going to be buying the PS4 version because I believe that version is going to get much lower print. It's probably going to be a little bit harder to find in the future. There's a point where FIFA games suddenly become expensive.
Really? FIFA? I mean,
go look at FIFA 13 or 14 on PS2. Go look at FIFA 17 or 18 on PS3.
I don't think the PAL copies are even that expensive for those.
They are. Yeah. FIFA 14 is like $100 game on PS2.
The German version on PS2 is I can buy one now for less than 30.
Okay, you can't in Australia. I had to import my copy.
$27.99. They actually have a platinum version for FIFA 14 on PS2.
Wow.
That's, by the way, that's even after they discontinued platinum on PS3. They still make platinum games for PS2 when they already discontinued those on PS3. That's actually really funny.
Hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
It's usually the last sports title for any game, any system that is a high dollar grabber. Hence,
they probably had 2,000 platinum cases sitting there going, we need to use these one day. And they're like, don't worry, we'll make them FIFA next year. We'll just use them all for FIFA.
That's also really funny because FIFA 14 was released on 5 different PlayStation systems. PS2, Vita, PS3, PS4, PSP, Vita, yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Who we got next in the chat there?
We got a few more people jumping in to say good day. We've got Rodney. Rodney's from Australia. We've got Silverin up in the Netherlands. We have Andy. And we've got Banfi over in Romania. Paddy the Collector. I think Paddy's in Australia.
The name would suggest Ireland, but
yeah, I was going to say, but that's I didn't want to be that guy.
We've got Mirage and AJ. Welcome, everyone.
Mirage, Leonardo 84. Not sure if any of y'all played Capcom's Onimusha series, but recently, just 30 minutes ago, they announced that Takeshi Miike, that worked on the live-action Blade of the Immortal, is working on a Netflix Onimusha anime.
I never
hope
played
that-
those. I haven't, but I never played those.
I haven't either.
The Netflix adaptation tends to suck. Hopefully they don't screw it up because Onimusha that's a samurai. Yeah, it's like the samurai / it plays like a Resident Evil game, and I think they came out with 4 PS2 games. Hopefully they don't screw it up because that's I'll definitely watch that. Patty the Collector's from Canada.
Sorry, Patty, but I'll try and remember that for next time. Ooh. The Bulldog Project says there's someone who collected all of the USA PS2 releases sealed. Wow. That's
I
insane.
I've seen that collection, but that's like an old collection that he completed that like 10 years ago, 10 years ago.
I do recall seeing that as well.
And back then it was infinitely cheaper, of course.
Yeah, one of my friends is going for a complete sealed PS4 collection, which is pretty
God.
crazy.
Who?
I'm terrible with names. I'm gonna have to look through my messages. Give me a second.
It's not the other guy, not the other German guy, is it?
No, it's American guy.
Complete PS4 sealed set. Oh man, I tell you, every day when I get bored and I walk up to my shelf, I'm so tempted to open up these damn sealed games. I'm so tempted.
Just do it. Just do it.
No, don't you dare! I cannot. The collector in me won't let myself. My girlfriend.
I've even opened sealed PS1 games before because I wanted to play them.
Oh, no, man. I will. I mean, there's other means to get them. You know. I mean, you could always get them digital. If I really want to play them that bad, that's what I'll do. My girlfriend recently. Where was I? I woke up this morning and last night she posted a stream of her playing Hentai versus Evil, which I got this game like about a month ago, and I have it sealed on the shelf. And I saw that link. I was like, oh my god, did she open up my game? So I ran to the shelf. I'm like, okay, here it is. It's still sealed. She bought a digital copy for about $10. But yeah, no, she's done it to me before. She did it with Schoolgirls versus Zombies or some bullshit like that. But oh man, Patty the Collector. I slowed down a little bit on collecting PS3, but I have been going hard for PS5 lately. I don't know about you guys. What do you think about the PS5?
I think it's a wonderful system.
I'm not considering it yet. Not until I get the console. I mean, it's no point in putting the cart before the horse. You know what I mean? And for me, it'll just be a PS4 Pro for a little bit as well. And I don't think collecting is going to go as hard at the PS5. I don't think PS5 is a collector's system.
I think they're trying to be, but artificially making games or artificially making things to be for collectors just doesn't work. Like pop vinyls or Beanie Babies, for example. I'm not saying that they aren't collectible, but they were introduced to be collectible. Where if you look at the PS3, for example, none of the games for the system were introduced for collectors. Like look at the PS4, and I can name 1,000 games that were made targeted for collectors, and people won't go for full PS4 sets for that reason. So I think the PS5 is going down that road already.
What big set? What collector aim set? Well, you got to think any collector's edition is a set aimed at a collector, and the collector's editions are you're going to pay an extra $50 to $100 on top of retail just so you can get a stuffed animal and a music CD.
I think collector's editions are a little bit different. I think those are more targeted to fans of the franchise that the game is made for, rather than actual game collectors.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree with you there. To a certain extent. I think get things like slipcovers and small limited editions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think especially back in the day when collector's editions were first introduced, I think it was mostly targeted at fans of that particular game or series.
And they used to be reasonably priced, and you used to get a good deal. Now you're paying, like, look at the Harry Potter collector's edition, $600 for little wand that uses a couple of magnets.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit! I want that.
I remember when the Prestige Edition first came out for Modern Warfare 2, I thought that was excessive. And that was like $199, I think. But at least that came with night vision goggles, like something that's actually expensive.
Or the Black Ops Collector's Edition for like $200 with a remote control RC car.
Yeah.
Didn't they have a plane in one of those first
Tom
person
Clancy Splinter Cell.
Had like one of those mini drones, right?
Yeah, that was a huge collector's edition. That one goes for like $500 these days.
Oh, man. Not for me. If you guys will excuse me for a few minutes, this is I'm gonna take a quick break because I gotta go to the men's room. So talk so much yourself. So I'll be right back.
Gail says about 75% of his PS4 collections come from Amazon. Nice.
That's a lot. I've bought a lot of PS3 from Amazon when that was still around, but not necessarily single games, but always because they always have buy two get one. At least they used to, like every 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And I would buy like 12 games at a time. Usually ones that you usually don't find used. Like all the NIS America RPGs, for example.
Yeah. Back when they were cheap. So
yeah, they were like $19.99 at retail, and I bought pretty much all of them for at buy two get one. So
but do you notice, I don't know if you collect much PS4 or Switch or anything these days, but those titles these days don't get down to $19.95. Like they might get down to $30, but they're not going for cheap anymore.
I noticed a little bit because I have a wish list on Amazon with PS4 games as well.
Yep.
Where a lot of those kind of games are on that, and I'm waiting for them to get a little bit cheaper. Of course, wishful thinking, I guess. But
some of them are already going up.
Yeah, if at all possible, I grab them if I can get a good deal, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah, I don't find these days you get too many good deals on new games or anything like that. Secondhand, you're still going to get deals, but not on brand new stuff.
Brand new stuff, it's really hard, yeah.
AJ says, how's everyone doing in regards to PS3 games? Recently got SpongeBob game on the console. I was looking for that for a while. Amazon has some great PS3 JRPGs for good prices still. Nice.
There's also a lot of them.
Now, you have a full PAL set. Did you focus specifically on getting a German set, or did you just get whichever version you could?
Whatever version I could.
Okay. So you're familiar with a lot of French collectors specifically only go for French versions of games?
I've seen like 1 and 2 go for it, but if there's more, like, I mean, it's there. It's if they want to do it, it's more power to them.
I respect it, and I know of about half a dozen French collectors who either have or are going for a full set. And for them, SpongeBob's the rarest PS3 game. Like nothing comes close to SpongeBob, which is really interesting because
that's really funny. Yeah,
it might be a $30, $40 game for the rest of us, but I think it's like a $300 or $400 game over there. It's
what
crazy.
The fuck?
Yeah. Another one that's interesting is Africa, but the Canadian version because it's in French.
Oh, true. I've seen those, but I didn't think they were like different for collectors.
Yeah, so French collectors are willing to pay top dollar to get the Canadian version of Africa.
Now I actually have to check because I don't know if mine is English only or has French maybe. I may have to check.
Could be worth selling and then buying an American one. Make like $150.
Did I miss anything?
Just all the excitement. We're just talking about you.
Oh,
he's back.
Oh shit, he's back. Shut up. AJT's TV and Music Archive channel says the only thing I have issues with on Amazon is vinyl. And a vinyl record records arrive with bend sleeves. You think they take
really weird?
Care with that?
I never had that problem. Like every time I order vinyl from Amazon, they always ship them in massive oversized boxes, like like 1.5 meter long boxes and like 20 centimeter thick for one vinyl.
That's
Because
what you want.
because they don't have any other boxes to put them in. Apparently.
They do sell like vinyl boxes. They almost look like pizza boxes.
Yeah.
I looked
I've
into
seen
them
those
when I
before
was
as well.
selling them.
I found that that game, a picture of that game Amazon sent me. Give it a minute to.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Senran Kanga?
Yeah, Senran Kagura. Yeah.
Well, you should add that one to the Figsy pronunciation.
You got it. You nailed it last week. Oh man, I fucking forgot. I should have. I have some set aside. I'll pull them up real quick and don't look, Figsy.
I
Did
won't
you?
check, so David Evans says, "I wish they would stop making PS4 games. I'm running out of money." So David's got a huge PS4 collection. I'm not sure if he's doing a full set or not, but I know he's well over the 1,200 mark. He's got an amazing PS4 collection.
That is a lot of games for any system.
See, it's crazy. Like I've got 1,100 PS4 games, and it's not even a dent in the system because there's over 3,000 games now.
Mm.
It's just so overwhelming.
I remember the days when we thought nothing would ever come close to the PS2 library in terms of size, and now we're here.
And now the PS4 is like, that's cute.
Yeah. Allow me to introduce myself.
But the days of how games are released are different. Like you can go out as a small company, pay for a license to get 1,000 games printed and print them and sell them privately on Twitter. That happens these days.
The Moose Rodney says it's going to be harder to get PS4 copies. PS5 will $5 a copy in 7 years. Everything goes down. So. Yeah, well, I've seen some discounted PS5 games already, but nothing on the PS4 level yet.
Games like Back for Blood you see cheap, and that's about it.
That pisses me off. I paid retail for that dumb game, and it's just terrible. I wanted to play it, but no, it wasn't as good as
I bought 8 copies for $5.
8 copies for $5 each?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Actually, I would have bought like 16 because I bought 8 Xbox copies as well. They only sell for like 15, so.
I don't think I've ever bought games like in bulk like that. The same game, multiple copies. I don't think I've ever done that.
Occasionally you get really weird looks because they're like, you're a reseller. Like, I'm going to treat you differently.
I think they're just pissed because they know they're missing out on value, but they can't mark you up. They can't mark you up.
I agree with you. I've got a few more people in chat.
Good morning, it's Rasmus.
Guys. Rasmus is here. Fresh to Defo 3. Good evening from Ohio.
That's in America.
Western Domain. It's Cowboy. What's up, Cowboy? Long time, man. Nice to see you. And we've got Joe Rad from last episode, guys. Welcome, Joe.
Nice hey, what's up, Joe? He didn't look like that when he was on the show.
No. He looks like Bruce Campbell now.
Yeah, looks a lot like Bruce Campbell.
We got debated, guys.
Yeah.
Fujitsubo says he can't be a good friend
if you don't know his name. I'm just bad with names. You got too many friends. Like I know his profile picture in my head. The name's just slipping me right now.
I found that. Let's take AJ's question now. Why don't you just sell the sealed ones?
This is when you're opening a sealed game. Now, that's a very interesting point because today it'd probably be worth selling a sealed game and then buying a used one to play it, because you're going to be losing money opening that sealed game.
It really depends. Like, if I'm gonna lose 5, even 10 euros opening a sealed game, I just don't care.
But if you're opening $100 sealed game where it's $10 used, it might be a different question.
Yeah, the only question is how much money am I losing out on, and is that money worth it? Putting the effort in, listing it on eBay and selling it, and shipping it, and potentially running into problems with the buyer.
Yep.
I usually, if I get a sealed game and I really want to play it, I'll do the digital route usually, or I'll just watch it on YouTube and just that way I get the same experience. Just hold the controller and just pretend it's the same. It's the same in the end. You know what I mean?
I've done it before, so
yeah. I did. I was like I said, I was looking for. I had a bunch of games that I downloaded, so you could, so we could play. Figsy pronounce this game. I only got one left. I think I didn't share from last week, so next week I'll be ready. But Figsy, are you ready to play Name That Game?
I am. Funny you say that, because I released a short on YouTube this week, and I mispronounced one of the names of one of the PS1 games. So I'll have to show you that one, and we'll have to get that up on the stream.
All right, here we go, Figsy. Let's see if we can do this.
Is the arc of Napesism. I know that's ease because I've said wise so many times that I've had to reply to that comment so many times, and I know it's ease.
Ease, the arc of Napishtim. What did you say? Napishitim?
I didn't say that. I'm just happy I got ease right.
Yeah, well, yeah, wise. Yeah, but yeah, I would say people argue about over the proper pronunciation of this game, but I would say ease is correct. But yeah, there you go. And that was Figsy Name That Game. I gotta collect some more. They're all gonna be just Japanese games.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a minute, guys.
All right. Beliskner, you must have a bladder of steel, or you haven't had anything to drink this morning.
Oh, I went to the bathroom just before we started. My bladder is relatively strong, so I can hold out enough if I don't drink too much.
Do you drink coffee? Are you a tea guy? What's your breakfast drink of choice?
No coffee, no tea, just water.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What about what's your poison? Beer?
I haven't drunk alcohol since I was 18.
Really?
Yep.
Did you have a problem, or you just don't care for it?
Just everything I've tried when I was 17, 18, I found everything I found disgusting. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, between you and Figsy, you guys make me look like a damn alcoholic.
I mean, if you want to drink it, and if it doesn't cause problems for you, I don't care. Like, I'm not a super anti-alcoholic that's proclaiming that alcohol is the problem of the entire world, like some people do. But I just don't care.
No, I enjoy beer. Every once a week, I'll go through a 6-pack, and that's it. Well, more than a 6-pack and a half. No, not even that much. 8 beers is the magic number for me. But
one a day and then 2 on Sundays.
Well, I'm gonna get back to this chat. I've been ignoring the chat. Where are we in the chat anyway? Oh, there we are.
So Banfi says, if you had to pick a franchise, which one would you love if they made a new game for the PS4 or 5? This question's easy for me because there's one game that I'm willing to go back and plug an old system in and play, and that is Scarface for the PS2.
Really?
That is interesting.
Yeah. And I know the reason they won't remake that game is because of all the drug references, where you go on cocaine runs, etc.
Did they have? I've owned Scarface. I've never played it. Did they have the "say hello to my little friend" scene where he gets up from the table all covered in
So the
coke?
game is interesting. Now we all know how the movie ends. So the game actually starts at the end of the movie, but instead of, I'm not going to spoil the movie, but instead of what happens at the end of the movie,
The movie is from 74. I
Yeah,
think.
dude,
You
no,
don't have to worry about
84.
spoilers.
so
Yeah,
instead
dude,
of dying, he survives, but he loses his mansion, and you start the game with nothing, and you've got to start again and build your empire back up. So it's really cool, and like it's the cutscenes for a 2004 or 5 release. It was like movie quality. The story, it was amazing, and then when you finish the game, it gives you an entire other area. For the time, that was mind blowing for me. I love Scarface.
Yeah, Scarface. It's a rapper's favorite and very it's got a huge cult following. So if they remade it, they'd make their money back and then some. For me, what I want to see come back is the Tenchu series. They just I think what was that last ninja game or samurai game?
Sekiro.
Sekiro. It was
But
supposed.
Sekiro was From Software's attempt at bringing Tenchu back.
Yeah, unfortunately, I need to finish that game, but it's really Demon Soulsy, or Soulsborne, or whatever the term is. But yeah, I want to see another Tenchu game, another stealth killer game. I love that thing. What about you, Beliskner?
I would like them to make another Spec Ops game, and they haven't made one since the PS3 days.
Like
Which is
Spec Ops
really
the Line.
Yeah, and they made
That's
a bunch for PS1 as well.
Oh,
And-
okay. I wasn't aware of that. I
Yeah,
thought that was
that's
a one-off
that's like
product.
an actual series. They may have been made by different companies, but yeah.
That's not a
Because
Tom
that was
Clancy
such
game.
a confronting game. Like when I used to work at the pawn shop and people would recommend a game, and I'd ask them questions if they like story-based games and stuff, and I'd recommend them that, and people would come back like, that was amazing. Like that was an experience.
Spec Ops the Line is a phenomenal game. It's often, even at release, it was so overlooked because it's from the footage you just assume it's just another third-person military shooter.
Like every
which
game
there
was
were-
back then.
Yeah, and like every month a new one like that came out, but it's so much more. It's so good.
That's
Aside
a-
from the story aspect, it also played better than pretty much any other third-person shooter at the time.
That's not a Tom Clancy game, is it?
No,
Oh, okay. What am I thinking? I'm thinking of Rainbow Six. And Rainbow Six is probably one of those generic first-person military game shooters you guys are mentioning. What are you looking for, Figs? What are you doing over there?
I was just grabbing the game. Here it is.
There we are.
Spec Ops the Line.
yep, that's the one.
I recommend everyone play this once. If you don't like it, stop playing it, but just give it a go.
Yeah, it's
Because
really
it's not for
cheap as
everyone.
well.
Some people will not like this at all, but for some people who like story-based games, they're going to love this, whether they like shooters or not. It's very,
Definitely.
very confronting also.
It's also, if you want to pick it up, it's extremely cheap on both PS3 and Xbox, and I think even digitally, it's like nothing.
Yeah, you can get it for under $5 today.
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
The Moose.
So Rodney
Rod.
says game hunting has gotten so hard. Can't find decent games, and the terrible ones are high in price. It's true. Like game hunting in 2022 is tough. It's competitive. It's expensive, and it's not. I would say it's not fun anymore unless you're really putting in work, buying lots, reselling 90% of it to keep that 10% for free. Like it's hard work these days.
I blame YouTubers and their rare and collectible videos.
Yeah, this guy talked about Amari the other week, and now the price has gone skyrocketed.
I would say though, as the person who has collected the longest, that it's never been different. Even when I started, people were already saying, "Oh, like the hobby is going downhill. Like, I can't find shit anymore. It was so much better like in the early 2000s." And I mean, even if you started at the very beginning, you would have had people that would complain like that.
Well, I noticed with my local store, they used to sell games for probably 5 or 6 years at the same price. Every game was always the same price. Now it's 10% lower than eBay.
Yeah, everything's
They
priced
still
into.
sell, so there's more people buying them.
Yeah, but when you're new to it, you got this this hunger, this want, this desire, and it pushes you a little harder. You've been at it a while, you get all cynical and jaded, and God damn it. In my day, everything was better, whatever. But
that's probably true as well.
Yeah, we're just shitty and jaded.
Also, at the beginning, when you don't really have anything and there's so much stuff you actually want, it's obviously easier to find games at a discount because there's so much more games you actually want. But nowadays, if you
find something,
if you see a game that's like 15-20% below retail, but you already have that game, you're not gonna buy that just to resell it unless it's like high value. But if it's like a $20 game, like who cares? So, but at the very beginning, you're still gonna pick it up. I think you're getting a lot of deals.
No, and you're definitely right. I just noticed a lot more people are aware of the value of video games these days.
That also, yeah.
I need to get an apprentice. I want to take under my wing. Yeah, maybe that'll reignite the spark. I tried to get my kid into it, but he doesn't care. He just wants the flavor of the week, and he's a player. You know what I mean, as opposed to a collector.
Dad, I got it digitally. I don't care about a physical copy.
You're grounded, kid. Take out the trash.
This reminds me, like at the very beginning, like 2012, I had the best find I've ever had collecting video games, and this goes back to people not knowing the value of stuff they own. And this was over here. The classified ads are mostly run by eBay. Like they have their own classified section, and it's basically the German Craigslist. And I saw a post in the video game section there for PS1 and games, and that's all it said. And the picture was so blurry you couldn't read any of the titles except for one, which was Final Fantasy VIII.
Yep.
And the seller said 25 euros. And there was like a stack of 18, 20 games or something and a PS1. And of course, I knew no matter what the games were, I was going to get a good deal.
You're getting Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, like that pays already for everything, more or less. So I messaged the guy. I say I can be there in 30 minutes. And he says, okay, wait downstairs. And I go there. He comes downstairs. I take one look in the back, look at the games, hand him the money and run. Like I was never gone that fast from a deal. Like I just stood there in shock for a few seconds, gave him the money, like waited for him first to move away, and then I couldn't go fast enough because the games in there, like holy shit, like Final Fantasy VIII was one of the bad games.
What else was in there?
So Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Parasite Eve, which are North American exclusives. I have no idea why he had those games, but Parasite Eve alone is like 100. So I don't know how he got those. Vandal Hearts, Vagrant Story, Suikoden 1, Chocobo Racing.
Oh my god.
And I'm telling you, those were like the best condition PS1 games you've ever seen in your life. Like none of the discs had even the tiniest of scratches. They were all perfect condition copies.
That was my next question. What state were they in?
They are still the most beautiful games in my PS1 collection.
Nice.
I love that, man. But I love the fact that you've now kept them, and they're still going to have that same attachment as they did like 12 years ago when you picked that up.
I still remember that day. It was insane. Getting all those games for basically €1 a piece.
Yeah, when you make a deal and you're driving home and you're looking in the rearview mirror to make sure the cops aren't behind you because you stole that shit. You stole it and you know it, and you take it home. It was
actual robbery. Like even back then, when prices were cheaper than they are now. Like Suikoden, I think back then Suikoden was like 60 euros for like an average copy. Like for a really good condition copy, you may have gotten 100. And Chocobo Racing even back then was 100. So
I believe that game. I believe that game is pronounced Sudoku.
Sudoku, true.
You got my Sudoku. Well, what's your most epic find that you've ever had?
Oh, I told you. I told the story before, and it was that dude, that old man that came to the door just wearing a robe, and there were three two Sudoku games in there, and damn it, I actually have a picture of my phone. I'd have to dig it up, but it was all PS2 games. I think there was a Def Jam thrown in there, but it was a good stack of about a dozen games, and less. It was like $50, so it was basically like $2 a game. And with this, and this is when I was going hard PS2, and but most recently, I would say my best pick We're talking PS3. It was when I picked up 2 El Chavo carts at one go, and I got them for like $10 a pop. And I didn't even keep those. I was still collecting PS3 hard, but I didn't want that game in my collection. It wasn't for me, but I knew it was desirable, and the price was too right. So I grabbed those and flipped them immediately. And it turned $20 into 100 and change. That's
a win.
It was a good day. Yeah, but what about you, Figsy? What's your best come up story?
See, like I could answer this 50 different times.
Yeah.
Well,
what's the one that
there's
sticks
not
out
one
most?
that stands out.
No?
But there's a few that I've sort of forgotten. There's one that I'll never forget. Anyway, a friend sent me a link. It was Nick Webb. Nick Webb sent me a link to a gum tree ad in Melbourne, and I live 4,000 kilometers away, like complete other side of the country. And it was 120 Japanese, Chinese, English games for the PS3, and he wanted $200. And I'm like, this deal's too good not to buy. So I'm messaging the guy. He's not going to post them. Anyway, my mum lives like an hour away from
Mom?
So I love my mum. She's amazing. She ended up driving into the city in the rain to pick these games up, and then posted them up to me in the next week or so. Like there was some amazing titles in here, like Railfan. I've got almost 200 Japanese games, and that's the reason for it. I've actually got a video of this full pickup on YouTube if anyone wants to see it. I'll leave a link in the description of this YouTube podcast. But yeah, one story doesn't end there. Then when my mum sent them up, she actually sent them to my neighbor. The wrong address. I was living in a unit complex at the time, and I thought that was stolen. So it was a full weekend of like pandemonium, like I'm getting the best deal, and then it's just disappeared. And when I ended up getting them on Monday, I was so ecstatic. I'll actually look for a photo or something of the pickup, but it was astronomical. It was 200 games. I think 120 games. It was like 50 of them were sealed. It was like Chinese, English titles, rare Japanese games. And everything was in pristine condition. It just beefed up my PS3 collection instantly.
And in those moments when your heart races, that's why we do this. That's why we chase it. And that's why we collect, and always chasing that high. But it's getting harder and harder to catch that buzz. I'll tell you what. It's been a minute.
It's really fun. Something that has happened to me a few times. I've caught people misplacing a comma when they were listing a game at a certain price. So earlier this year, I got the second rarest original PAL Xbox game for 1/10 of the usual price because they put the comma in the wrong place when they listed the game.
Was it on eBay?
Yeah, that was on eBay.
Oh, jeez.
They got it like an hour after it was listed, and it was $49.99 instead of $499.99.
They didn't cancel the order on you, or did they? Oh, jeez.
It was like a big box, like retail seller. They probably just didn't notice because they list like thousands of games.
Yeah, there's a phrase for that. It's called caught slipping. You caught them slipping. Hell yeah. Who else
I'm
we
trying
got?
my best to find this post, but it's not easy.
Let's see who else we got in the chat here. AJT's TV music archive channel. The Koei Techno PS4 games are always expensive. What was that? What was the last one they put out? Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water. But
that's going to be a very expensive game down the line, I would say.
I still haven't ordered my copy from, was it Play Asia?
They're going to sell out at some point, and then it'll be eBay.
Yeah. But it's still under. It's a $40 game. Refresh my
for me, it was $70 or something, $69.99, something like that.
Australian.
Yeah.
And what is the game? What's a AAA retail title go?
Yeah, that's a AAA title price.
Yeah, I need to get that one, but I'm trying to think of Koei Techno. It's Tecmo,
Dynasty Warriors. I'm pretty sure
it's Tecmo.
They do make those, yeah. I think it's Tecmo, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Tecmo Bowl from back in the day on NES. It's so hard to play those NES games. There's only one NES game I could really play anymore, and that's Punch Out.
I just got that recently. It's here. Here it is.
There it is.
Just got that a couple of weeks ago.
Fujitsubo asks, why is Returnal still like $100 in stores and it's been out 2 years? Is this a VR game?
No, Returnal's a PS5 exclusive. I want that. I've got a poster outside of my room, like that Demon Souls poster of Returnal, but I still haven't picked it up. It's meant to be really good. I think once you die, you start the game again or something, or it's got an interesting aspect of the game to it. But yeah, I've only heard really good things about it, and it doesn't seem to be dropping in price. So,
well, here's one on GameStop, $43.99.
And he's
so out of the loop with new games.
Prices are different over here.
Where's Andy out of? I'm sorry.
He's in my city.
Oh, okay. Oh, Andy from last week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Fujitsubo. I'm picturing some Japanese dude. Just said AJ, man, congrats, David and Figs. I only have 200 PS4 games.
Only 200.
Only 200. I think my count's about 150. Yeah, but it's growing little by little. I try and I'm not. I don't have deep pockets, so one a week is what I try to bring in, and then and usually when that, sometimes I just get crap titles and because they're cheap. It's weird buying shit just because it's cheap and filler on the shelves. But I think I got some Santa Claus game recently. Rare and collectible. Nobody's buying that turd. I promise you that. We'll see.
Unless Metal Jesus mentions it in the video.
Oh, Metal Jesus! All hail Metal Jesus! we collect in his name.
I got a massive toothache at the moment, guys.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's not fun. I'm gonna try and book into a dentist this week.
Do you guys get free healthcare over there in Australia?
If you don't have a job, you get free healthcare.
That's
and then you get like Medicare, so basic healthcare, but like dental isn't covered.
Dental, they only cover the necessary stuff over here. So your twice a year checkups, and like if you have, I don't actually know what it's called in English, but that bacteria that attacks your teeth and makes the teeth black.
Plaque.
Yeah. Well, wait. Actually, let me have a look. What's in English?
Oh, you can get an
What's
ambulance.
the same name? Caries.
I still don't know what the hell you're talking about. So they're not going to pay. They're not going to pay for your gold teeth, is what you're telling us.
Yeah,
You
if they determine that you made poor decisions, then they will not cover like dental work.
That's fair.
Like if you do extreme sports, for example, and if you do boxing and the teeth gets knocked out, that's like they don't care. You have to pay for that.
That's well, I guess I mean that's fair enough, I guess. But what if it's an accident? Then they'll cover you.
Usually, yeah.
That's
Not if
cool.
you're a boxer.
Yeah. Then it's kind of hard to sell as an accident. Yeah.
The boxer. I tripped at home and knocked one of my tooth out. I swear it didn't happen at work.
It didn't work. Who else we got in the chat, Pigsy?
We got House of Once Love, Super Harley Quinn.
I get the digital Mr. Seal. Matt, that's my girlfriend. She probably overheard me talking about her opening up my game. It was Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. You familiar with this game?
I know the one. I'll bring it up so everyone can see it.
Yeah, I got a picture. When I was looking for that picture of that Senran Kagura with the shipping label on it, I found the picture of that game with the cellophane all off to the side. It was
so this game's actually interesting because this particular version was recently reprinted. So this is the UK version. There was a point where this was going over £100, and it was like $50 in America. And then it got reprinted, and I believe copies have certainly dropped in price.
Yeah, mine was off of Amazon. I think I paid maybe $20 for it.
Lose the clothes, save your life.
Yeah. And she was mentioning about on that hentai versus evil game how Nintendo and everyone else got the PlayStation they're heavily censored as opposed to Nintendo, which blows my mind if you think about it.
That's weird.
Yeah, Nintendo in general, this is not the first time I heard it either. In general, Nintendo is a little more racier with their games, a little more looser with the censorship than PlayStation. But
that's interesting. I know Japan are more loose with games than we are over here. Like cover art for the same game looks different in Japan. The girl will be wearing less clothing than the Western release.
I'm not going to say anything.
I think a lot of companies just do that as a precaution because the way rating usually works is companies send in a game to get rated, and then the rating company gives it a rating, but doesn't give the companies any hints as to why that rating exists or what they have to do to make it different. So a lot of companies just play it safe in that sense to get the rating they want.
Yeah, but with a title like Hentai versus Evil, I mean, you gotta expect an M rating. I mean, nobody's dropping adults only games over. Well, that's the ratings we have over here. Adults only is the X or whatever you want to call it. M is the rated R.
I always found that silly because isn't the R rating or the M rating isn't that 17 plus and then adults only is 18 plus?
Yeah, it's weird.
It seems exactly kind of a weird difference to make, like 1 year.
Yeah, it's it should be 18 plus. I thought I'd have to look it up. I thought it was 18 plus adults only.
See, we got R18 plus for games, but then they've got like X for movies, which is 18 plus as well.
They used to have an 21 plus rating for movies here, but they abandoned that. I think in the late 90s or early 2000s or something.
Well, you guys in Germany,
drink beer at 16, but you can't watch porn.
Wait, you can drink beer at 16?
We can drink beer at 16, yeah. We can also buy beer and wine at 16.
Yeah, no. In Panama, it was 18. In America, it's 21.
18, yeah. I stopped drinking at 18.
Same.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. But no, Germany, you guys censor the crap out of stuff, from what I understand, when it comes to video games.
We used a lot. We are a little bit more looser now. The problem, the reason it even got to that is because one, a a lot of the World War II games get censored because the swastika and the Blitz
Yeah.
S from the SS, those are considered anti-constitutional symbolism, and
Yeah.
you can't display those symbols anywhere unless it's in an educational context. So, and games don't count as educational.
So no Castle Wolfenstein for you then.
No.
A censored version of it.
Heavily censored versions, yeah. And then the other thing is, in the early 2000s, there were 2 school shootings that were like very terrible, and a lot of politicians at the time that were actually in power partially blamed video games and made our rating system, which is unique to our country, that only counts for our country. They made them be a lot more harsh on violence and stuff. That's why a lot of very violent games are not released here, or were not released here.
Only 2. Yeah, I guess that's better than my damn country. But that's
I think the thing is, up until that point, I think the first big one was like in 2002 or something. And up until that point, there just wasn't anything like that at all in Germany. Like, we didn't have school shootings before that. And that was really big because that was like a 15 victim shooting or something. And it was awful. It was awful.
And that's
people heavily overreacted trying to censor stuff because of it.
And that's the start of the USK grading system.
The USK already existed before because Germany is unique with anti-constitutional symbolism. They wanted to have control over that from the very beginning. So they had existed already in the early 90s. They were already rating Super Nintendo games.
Does it have the big? Is it as obnoxious on Nintendo games as it is on PS3 games?
No, it used to be a lot smaller, and they all used to be yellow regardless of the rating, unless it was an 18 plus.
I recall these yellow ones, yeah.
Yeah, and then they changed it after the shooting. They made them like colored, all different colors, and then they started to make them bigger as the years went on as well.
Now it's like half the fucking cover.
Yeah. Luckily, the good thing is what a lot of people don't know. When they changed the style of the USK logo, like around 2010, 2011, so it became an actual square instead of the diamond thing. A lot of people hated that even more than the old ones. So what a lot of companies did was they had covers that you could flip around. So if you change the cover on the other side, it was the same cover but without the rating.
Ah, that's cool.
But for store shelves, of course, the rating had to face outwards.
I actually really like that. Like, they're actually catering for collectors.
They realized very quick that people hated that logo.
They should do that across the board, if you ask me. Everything.
They should,
reversible logo. I mean,
imagine no logo on the front, but exactly the same cover.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, they are completely clean, no logo.
Game developers, hint, hint. You want to sell to collectors, put this stuff out there.
Yeah, everything. Reverse covers with no age restriction badges. Which is your favorite, Figsy? Your favorite age restriction badge? Australia, Peggy.
I used to hate the Australian ones, but now that I have a full set, I love the Australian logo.
Yeah, well,
what I like about them is the spine. So all the Australian games, I can spot the green ones, the yellow ones, the red ones, the black ones from here. I really like that.
That's what I hate about them because I don't have really many Australian ones. They just stick out.
If you have all of them, like the Essentials set, they look really good together. So that's the argument I'll use.
Yeah, I'm partial to the ESRB because you got to root for the home team, but I don't mind the Peggy one's not that ugly, but the USK one, oh my God!
I think the UK one's probably the best.
No, Korea. I mean, I don't mind Japan. The Sero, it doesn't look bad on a cover. Usually, only
China's
put it on
really good. China don't have any rating on them.
Yeah,
for some games, but then China then have another rating system for other ones. There's like no consistency.
Korea, that one's kind of odd because you got a number, and then you got these little symbols on the bottom underneath it. And I have no idea what they mean. It looks like a bad roadside.
What I like
sign.
about Japan is you can actually arrange the games by their rating system with the spines, because the spines are all different colors, and it actually looks really good together.
But they also, unfortunately, changed the shades of some of them, I think, over the years.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, that doesn't look as good anymore.
Unless that's just from sun fading, because I know some of those colors mix with light really quickly and change color. Like some of the yellow, the blue Australian ratings will actually turn green if you leave them in the sun.
Yeah.
There was a while where we actually thought there was a variant of an NBA 09 game, but it was just a sun reaction from light.
And you can't even tell from the cover because they're mostly just white.
I'll actually grab it. I think I've got it. Here we go. So this used to be green, but that looks blue, right?
That looks very blue, yeah.
Yeah, it looks blue.
Yeah, but that's because it's been in the sun and it actually changed color. Yeah, look at the front.
Oh yeah, that's definitely green. This is the rare variant here, ladies and gentlemen.
The rare sunfade variant, yeah.
But then it's a different blue to the other blues. And yeah, I was convinced for a very long time. So Banfi says, I'd love a new Resistance game. I'm surprised we haven't seen a Resistance game this generation. Well, last generation. We're in the new generation now.
I think it's just because Resistance 3 wasn't doing well. And I think because Insomniac is more focusing on Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, fair enough. And like game companies these days don't just pump out new games anymore. It's all about remaking games and using assets they've already got and things like that. It's such work making a big AAA game, because they couldn't go out and make a half budget game. If they made a new Resistance game, it would have to be in line with the new Call of Duty and the new Battlefield and, all games like that.
Yeah, I don't mind when they completely remake the game. I don't really like when they just make the same game again, but for the new console, and don't really change anything.
Yeah.
What I do like is, for example, what Resident Evil did with their old games, where they basically completely remade those old games.
I love the. I've done Resident Evil 1 remake. Was it remake? Is that the official term, or remaster? It's a remake.
Remake.
I think it's remake for the Resident Evil ones.
Yeah, 1 and 2. I got and even the. Is the third one out, or am I getting my head up my ass?
They're all
they did the third one as well.
I think I got halfway through the third one and just quit. But no, I played them all back in the PS1 days. But I gotta agree. Yeah, if you're gonna do the same damn game again, make it look good. Make it different.
I will throw one counter argument to that. I'm a fan when they bring out PS2 games, but what they have done is added like trophy support. And I really, really enjoyed replaying some PS2 games with trophies, because it's, if you're going for all the trophies, it's not just finishing the game. I recently did Dark Cloud again, and going for the Platinum Trophy was a different experience to just finishing the game for me. So I enjoyed that.
I've done that with a couple games, yeah.
They dropped Dark Cloud on PS4?
Yep. Dark Cloud's digital on PS4, and it's got
digital
trophy support. And if you're a level 5 Studio fan or a Dark Cloud fan, I highly recommend it. Amazing.
I've done the Star Wars Episode 1 Razor Revenge 1, I think it was called, on PS4.
Yep.
That was really fun. Even though it's not really a good game, but it's fun for some reason.
Maybe it's fun because it's nostalgic.
It's not even nostalgic. I never played that game before.
That's funny.
Who we got next in the chat, Figs?
Rasmus said he'd love Scarface, love that game. And that's the thing with Scarface. If you talk to someone who's played it, they loved it. I've never met someone who just thought it was a mediocre game.
I may have to dig that up. Demoose, like, do you have a film or show you would like to see as a particular type of game? For example, I would love to see a Supernatural as a Telltale game. I was about to say Supernatural before I even got to the end of this damn sentence. I don't know if you guys watched that show. It follows the exploits of the Winchester brothers, who they're basically Ghostbusters, and they're fighting angels and demons and Wendigos and werewolves. All that stuff exists, and they do it behind the scenes. But yeah, Supernatural would be a great video game. Surprised they haven't licensed that out yet.
I would love to see Stargate. They are working on a game right now that's, from what I can tell, it's like kind of like an XCOM style game, like tactical game. But I remember in the late 2000s they were working on like a third person shooter / adventure game, kind of like Uncharted. But that got scrapped at some point. There are trailers for that game as well, and that never came out, unfortunately.
That'd be pretty cool.
It would be really cool, yeah. There's like Stargate mods for like Counter-Strike and Half-Life, which are also really fun. But yeah, a proper game would be really, really nice.
Mine's probably a little bit cliche. I'm going to say Game of Thrones in like an MMO type style. I love the universe, and they could do so much with it.
Also, kind of like Lord of the Rings War in the North, just with Game of Thrones.
Exactly, and I've played Total War mods with Game of Thrones, and it's great. Like, I love it, but I could see them doing a full game, high budget, and doing a really good job with it.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I played even though I didn't watch the show at all, but I played the Telltale game for Game of Thrones. That was actually pretty fun.
You know, I've got Game of Thrones on my shelf. I've never played. I have no idea what it's about. I mean, I love the show. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. If I was going to play Game of Thrones, I'd want it to be as salacious as the TV show. But until they normalize adults-only video games, I doubt we'll ever get a true Game of Thrones experience on a PlayStation.
So I really didn't enjoy the Telltale game, and I loved the series. So.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not really a Telltale fan. I like the Back to the Future one, but I've tried some of the other ones and couldn't get into them.
Oh, have you tried Tales from the Borderlands though?
I haven't.
Tales from the Borderlands is probably the funniest game I've ever played. I was laughing so hard the entire time. It's so good. It's so funny.
It's not easy to do comedy in video games. A couple guys nailed it, but I've never played that one.
That game definitely hit the nail on the head. Even if you haven't played the Borderlands games, Tales from the Borderlands it's phenomenal. It's so good.
I'll have to check it out at some point.
Chaos for Hire says he'd like to see a remaster or remake of Manhunt from PS2. That game's just bloody for the sake of bloody.
Yeah,
I don't think we will, for controversial reasons.
That is one of the games that never came out in Germany because of excessive violence. And it's actually like this. When a game doesn't come out, there's two options. Either you can't advertise it, but you can still sell it like under the table, sort of deal. And then there's games that where distribution is just completely banned and illegal, and that is one of those games.
You have to smuggle that thing into the country?
Yeah, ownership is not illegal.
Okay.
But distribution and even purchasing is technically not legal.
So it is the same in Australia, but it was actually released here, and then it got banned. So it's one of the few games that were banned. So you can find an Australian version out there. You're just not allowed to sell it, distribute it, but you're allowed to own it.
Yeah. Yeah, similar deal here.
David asks, Figsy, what's a rare Australian release PS4 game that you need or have never seen? You're gonna know the answer to this one, David, unfortunately, but the answer is Metal Max Xeno. And the reason I said David's gonna know the answer is David actually sold me a copy of this game, and Australia Post actually lost it in the mail, and they reimbursed us for the game. They admitted that they lost it, and I've been after this for 9 months now, and I still haven't found a copy.
What's the name of this game again?
I'll bring it up. I've got a UK copy. Metal Max Xeno.
That looks interesting.
It's an NIS America title. It sort of looks like a steampunk JRPG. Yeah, an interesting one. But yeah, I've this has eluded me for a long time. I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay $100 for a copy, so I'm content with my UK copy for the time being. Just like bounced and almost hit me in the face.
I think because I just saw in chat Silverian mentioning Sucker Punch as a video game, which reminded me of a question from earlier, which series we would like to see a new game of, and I definitely have to say Infamous to that, because we haven't had a game for that series since First Light came out in like 2014. And I would probably buy a PS5 just for a new Infamous game.
That's pretty cool.
You guys, is he talking about the movie Sucker Punch, right?
Yeah, but the movie reminded me of Sucker Punch, the development studio that made Infamous.
Oh yeah, who made Infamous? Yeah, I would love a Sucker Punch movie. It's one of my girlfriend's favorite movies right there. Yeah,
it could be a really fun game, yeah, for sure.
AJ's Tees and TV and Music Archive channel. The best finds I've had was a Saturn for $2.50 American, and a Blue Reflection for $50 American. Where did you find it? Yeah, you probably found the Blue Reflection probably on the shelf in a GameStop. GameStop, they slip on a lot of stuff, and they don't do it on purpose. I mean, they don't do it on accident or on purpose. It's just that's how they price their games.
It's not their job to keep up with eBay prices. They do that 3 or 4 months with every game, and they don't check it for another 3 or 4 months. It's the same with like CEX.
But you can find most recently I've seen it was a Godzilla copy of Godzilla $69.99 at GameStop. Someone picked it up like last week, and it's still out there. And yeah, you can find GameStop slipping on a lot of stuff. That's probably where he got that. Oh, I'm gonna guess that's where he got the Blue Reflection. But a Saturn for $2.50 is a deal. The Bulldog.
The listener should try the favorite set because it's super cheap and easy. So it's probably not super cheap and easy if you're not in South America or Central America.
Yeah, no, thank you. I can do without. I have too many games already.
Never have too many games.
That's also true.
We've got Mr. Isa in the chat. And Mr. Isa says, can't wait for Fatal Frame 4's Western release to come out. Physicals are already up on PlayAsia. Really? I was not aware that it was getting a Western release. So I would hold off on that Fatal Frame purchase if I was you, Will.
Yeah, I heard something about a new Fatal Frame coming out. But what is Fatal Frame 4? So is that Maiden of Black Water he's talking about, or is that the new?
Well, that's the 4th Fatal Frame game, I believe. So is that the same game, Mr. Isa? We'll get back to your chat. They should cover wisdom teeth removal. I've got wisdom tooth pain right now, so that's very I can relate to this comment.
All right, let's see.
Robert says, I recently bought Female Ghost Blitzers game, Australian region, on eBay for $38. I've been looking for one for a year and a half. There was another copy for $120. I'm not even familiar with it.
I think it means Ghostbusters. The game for the movie.
I know the one you're talking about. Okay, and I recently just picked that up as well, and I was after one for a very long time. And I do know the $120 copy you're talking about. I mean, yeah, I think that version of Ghostbusters. I'll pull it up.
There's a female version of Ghost. I mean, not the movie, but they made a video game after that movie.
They did, yeah.
Oh, really?
And then they remastered the old one.
I believe this will be really, really hard to find later on.
Yeah, that's the old one from PS3.
So there's this one too, but I see this one a lot more common. and it's the newer version. Yeah,
That's the one with the girls on it.
Yeah.
The one with their backs.
Yeah. This is the one with the girl on it. There's a girl on this one.
All right.
So me and Robert are in. We got completely different opinions on it, but again, like you don't know what's the rare version or if there even is going to be one until people are really starting to heavily collect for these systems. Retailers aren't selling games anymore; they're only available on the secondary markets.
If I learned anything about predicting rarity of games, is that people don't actually know shit. Like, anytime I hear someone say, "See, I told you so. I told you that game was rare," I go back in their like whatever forum or Reddit history, and they predicted like 200 games to be rare.
Yeah,
And none of them are except for that one. People just don't know.
All right, so the new Fatal Frame video game I was talking about is called Fatal Frame: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, coming to PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC, early 2023. And the one I'm talking about is Maiden of Black Water. If that's 4, I mean, I don't know the numbers. I mean, if Maiden of Black Water is part 4, then if that's getting a Western release, maybe I should hold off. God damn it.
It did get a Western release, but not an American release.
It got a Wii U release.
Wii U in Europe, yeah. And Australia.
The Wii what? Never heard of that one.
But this was almost 10 years ago. It's not like it's a new game or anything.
True.
No. Yeah, the Fatal Frame: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse first launched for the Wii exclusively in Japan in 2008. A remastered release will mark the first time the game is playable outside of the country.
Okay, so Maiden of Black Water is 5 technically.
So Maiden of Black Water just came. Yeah, that okay. I really need to get a list and figure this shit out.
It's hard when it's all different names.
Yeah,
Different countries
yeah.
have got different names.
And you got Project Zero. I don't know exactly what's going on, but yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll ask in a Facebook group, and I will be informed. So
There's some more people in chat. Langers, welcome.
what's up, Langers?
We got Aces up off road. Welcome, Aces. Haven't seen you for a long time. Aces says, no collector here, but I remember you playing PUBG. And Aces is over on Twitch.
I just played PUBG about an hour before I got on here.
Nice.
I
Have
played
you ever
PUBG
played?
once.
Okay.
One time, like a couple games with some friends on PC. But my PC is ass, so it doesn't run PUBG very well.
Did you used to watch me play PUBG at all, Beliskner?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
I remember because in your version, the blood was green and not red.
Because you could see it better at like long distances. It was all about
that actually makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, it was all about the nuttiest thing. And I was a sniper too, so I wanted to see if my snipes were hitting at 400 meters.
Yeah, I remember you complaining about bot lobbies a lot.
That's
There's
when
only
I stopped
6
playing.
real people in here. I think that was even before crossplay existed.
Yeah,
So
it
you-
was.
so you
around
only
the
had, like,
same time.
Yeah, so you only had like 6 people at a time, actual people in your games at a time, maybe.
I was getting like 30 kills.
Yeah.
Like mainly bots. Aces says, I had a DUI at 14. I live in America. Ouch.
That's extra bad in America because I think you guys are a lot harsher on juveniles than most other countries.
Oh, we just love to put people in jail over here. Good morning from Pouche Production.
Good morning, Pouche.
Pouchel.
We got PS2 Fat Boy. Welcome, PS2 Fat Boy. Yeah, the podcast is going really well. Thanks for asking. PS2 Fat Boy is another content creator who makes obviously PS2 related content, guys. So definitely go check him out.
I never would have guessed from that name.
And he's a fan of Scarface as well. Like I was saying, if you played Scarface, you loved it.
Pushel Production says, I still hope a Bloody Roar 3 remaster from PS2, but Konami have all the rights and do nothing, sadly. Yeah, it seems a lot of companies just don't do anything with any of their old stuff. Who's the other one? They need go now, Silent Hill, or that's Konami game, right?
That's
Yeah, I
Konami.
was
I
gonna
think
say
Konami.
Metal Gear Solid. We'll never see another one of them, at least a real
Yeah,
one.
Konami seems like the big offender when it comes to that. They never re-release anything.
Well, they fuck around too much.
Rasmus asks, I'd want a Breaking Bad game. See, I was going to say that, but it would be. I couldn't think of how they would do that as a video game and actually release it. And
I think that would only work as a Telltale game. I don't think that's another way you can make a game out of that show.
unless it was like a Steam game on the side or something like that.
Also, that game would be primarily about drugs, so it's kind of unlikely.
So just like Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
Pigsy.
So Zack Snyder, I think we're talking about Sucker Punch here.
Yeah, the movie I think was made by Zack Snyder. But of course, the movie and the development studio don't have anything in common other than the name.
So Rasmus says, over here, the remastered Ghostbusters is very common, but the new one is uncommon. Strange how different that can be from country to country. And I love those differences. That's what I've really been enjoying about modern collecting, because it's region free. You can import games if they're expensive in your country, things like that. It's cool.
No, about that, something I noticed about that. You guys were talking about Painkiller, I think, last episode.
Yeah.
And the game over here, it's edited. It's not uncut, but it was released here, and the German copy is like 15 euros.
I've got that. I'll pull it up.
Yeah. I think it's very unpopular even here because people don't like edited content.
I mean, who doesn't? Everybody wants the extra gore.
Yeah. So we've got the standard release, and then the German release, which is called the cut version.
Yep.
They literally
usually they don't advertise that, but I don't know why they did it for that game. I don't think I've ever seen that on any other game before, that they advertise that it's not the uncut version.
I was talking to Christian about that game. He's over in Germany as well, and he's thinking about. It's like, man, I don't know. I kind of want one just because the cover is a little different. But I mean, what really is the difference between cut and uncut? I mean,
it's probably just less blood. Maybe if there's dismembering in the game, that's probably also cut out. Usually, I think the biggest problem that the German rating system has with violence is dismembering and ragdoll. So if you can do anything of significance to a body after it's dead, it's so the USK is probably not taking too kindly to that.
So somebody's arm chopped off at the elbow up someone's ass is no good. They don't like that. Okay.
I think that's why.
I don't think anybody does.
That's why Soldiers of Fortune is also not released here, because you can do that shit. I
will now seek that game out. Soldiers of Fortune.
So Pixel says, does anyone think about the PS4 game Hidden Dragon, an Asian release and very expensive to get from EU? I have seen that game, but I haven't seen it for a couple of years. It's one of those ones that people talk about, but there's just so many PS4 games out there that you can't keep track of them all.
Is it Hidden Dragon Legend or just Hidden Dragon?
I'm gonna do a quick search of it,
because there's one on eBay right now, Hidden Dragon Legend, sealed for 129.
Is it a limited run game?
No, it was an Asian release.
Yeah. Yeah, it says here play original. That's probably it.
Okay, yep, Hidden Dragon Legend. Yeah, I see the one. I can order one for $100 US, $100 Australian dollars, so like 60 euros.
Let's see what eBay America has.
But again, like with the PS3, all those Chinese English games are expensive, but there's 20 of them. You've got like 150 Chinese English PS4 titles. You're not going to find they're all going to be expensive, if any of them.
Here's one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Just because of happenstance, I have a Chinese English copy of NBA 09.
Yeah.
The Sony game. I don't even remember how I got that.
As I mentioned, I picked up that massive lot of Chinese English games. I did eventually sell a lot of the duplicates, and I noticed a lot of the region-free English games that had PAL and NTSC releases would sell for cheaper than the other versions. Say it's a $20 game, you get like $15 for it.
Yeah,
but it would sell more than the Japanese version, which was funny.
Yeah, the Japanese version always seems the least valuable, unless it's an exclusive, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but Hidden Dragon Legends Asia English version, $50 plus $12 shipping. I don't know why shipping is so expensive.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Chaos says, I remember playing PUBG on Xbox at 15 FPS when it first came out on the Xbox. I remember that. I was day one on Xbox, and it was like playing a PS1 game.
Well, Figsy, I'm going to sign off for the night. It's getting a little late over here.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. We're 2 hours in. This has been an amazing episode. It's been really good having you on here, Beliskner. I was really glad when you reached out to me because I knew we were going to have heaps of good things to talk about.
Absolutely, man. It was great fun.
All right. Beliskner, you have a good night. Figsy, you have a good night. Everybody in the chat, you guys have a good night. Okay, I'll catch you on the next one.
Good night, guys.